Adam Lallana, what's the latest on his injury?
We're just waiting for a scan result. He's testing okay, so not too bad. But obviously, until we get the scan, we don't know the full extent. But it seems like it's going to be a minor problem.
Is it a reoccurrence of what he's had over the last few weeks?
Yeah, again, I mean, until we get the results back, I wouldn't want to sort of talk too much about it. But probably, yeah, that's what I'd say.
Does that mean there's a potential that he's going to have a prolonged rest out of the side? Because obviously he keeps coming back and it keeps happening again.
No, not necessarily. I think it's just a case of getting the analysis now, getting that diagnosed properly, and then go from there. Maybe it was a little bit too soon, but something we'll have to think about. And
any team news ahead of tomorrow? Any more struggles or players available?
No, still Adam Webster away. Everybody else is available, so yeah, good numbers to choose from.
And on your recent struggles at the moment, what do you put that down to, the form?
Well, it's an easy question, but it's a complex answer, unfortunately. Lots of things. I mean, a combination of against Manchester United at half-time, we're looking okay. Played well, probably had a couple of better chances, and then within about 2 minutes we're a goal down and we're a man down. So then we have to, adjust. I think that the team did well in the second half in terms of keep pushing, but we conceded another one at the very end. And then we lose Adam Webster as well into the Burnley game. So we're going to Burnley with our two centre-backs that played against Manchester United. We had a poor performance against Burnley for different reasons. I think that probably affected us against Aston Villa because it was sometimes when you get knocked down, it takes you a bit of time to get back up and get your feet. And I think it probably reflected a little bit in the Aston Villa game. Newcastle, I thought we played well. I thought the performance was good. Like anything, when you're having a bad time, sometimes you get punished heavily for things, and we did. So we were on the back of a 2-0, and after about 15-20 minutes, and not sure where that came from, but it happens in football. And then we played one of the best teams in the world. So again, our performance was strong. We concede a goal. We suffer a bit then, but we come back, have a good chance at the start of the second half. A penalty, and then the game's away from us. So lots of things. Not an easy answer to give you, but it's a few reasons.
Is it a challenge for you to install a bit more belief in the side that they can overcome these recent struggles? And again, you went through it, I think earlier on in the season as well, quite a long run without a win. How did you get across the line back then that maybe you can replicate this time around?
Yeah, it's been a strange season. We had a negative stat that was thrown at us at the start of the season, and then we had a really positive stat in between, and now we've got another one that we don't like. So, I mean, all I can say is the players, they're giving everything. I think the team over this season has demonstrated that, even against Liverpool. If you look at the personality on the pitch towards the end of the game, it's not as a team that's giving up at all. You look at the late goals, the team's fought to the end always. If anything, the performances I have to take responsibility for, I haven't done well enough, but I can't criticise the players. And they've been through it before. We're a team that's 41 points, 36 the season before. So we know the struggles of the Premier League. It can change pretty quickly. So that's what we have to think about and just focus on the next game. It's as simple as that.
Do you think you've become victims of your own success? Because obviously you had such a great start to the season as well that maybe everybody's expectations have gone that much higher that all of a sudden when you do go through a bad phase, maybe you're not meeting those renewed expectations.
Well, I mean, on the one hand, you can't argue we haven't won in 5 and we're suffering in terms of in front of goal and we're suffering at the other end. So whatever criticism comes your way, you understand that at that point that's fair. Like I said, I think the team and the players deserve the support because they've put a lot into the season. They've accumulated the points that we have already. There's a lot of young players, players making their first appearance in the Premier League in terms of season with crowd. It's another factor that it's easily overlooked. So the boys give everything. You can't control what people's expectations are. I think, of course, if there's a gap between expectation and reality, there's a chance there's going to be frustration. That's just in life generally. And then it's about how we analyse the situation where we're at Brighton and Hove Albion, how we're doing as a team, how we're doing as a club. There'll be people out there that will be negative towards me, and absolutely understand that. But there's nothing you can do about that. You've just got to carry on doing your work.
Has there been anything going on externally that might have contributed at all? Obviously, there's been a big change with Dan Ashworth leaving as well. Has that had any effect, do you think?
No, I don't think so. I can't blame that. I can't blame that on that. It's just unfortunately the Premier League is tough. It's unforgiving if you're on the wrong end of things. Like I said, I mean, from the start of the season, losing Ben White, losing Dan Burn, losing Lewis Dunk, losing Adam Webster for periods of this season. The fact that we've still got 33 points, I think, says a lot about the players and the team. But again, through the lens of 5 defeats, there's not too much positive out there. That's just how it is. That's how the world works. I understand that. We have to fight to change that round, and we'll try and do it on Wednesday night.
And the fight does continue Wednesday night. What are your thoughts on the challenge of Antonio Conte's Tottenham?
Well, we had a first-hand experience at their place in the Cup. A tough game, a good side. Antonio's done a fantastic job. I'm a big fan of his, in terms of how his career's developed and what he's achieved, and then also how he's working at Tottenham. I think you can see the way the team acts. He's a top coach, and they've got fantastic players. You know, Son and Kane. There's a Premier League partnership, or as they'll be up there with the greats. So no, it's a tough challenge. We need our supporters with us. We need everyone to be fighting. We need to be lucky. We need all those things.
You mentioned Son and Kane. Finally, from me, Harry Kane's in pretty good form right now. Where does he rank for you on maybe the all-time list of Premier League strikers?
Well, like I said, he's up there. I made the observation the other day. It wasn't so long back. Again, if the result is negative, things change. But I think he was getting criticism because he wasn't in the box and linking up, and should be in the box more. And then you realise that actually his movement, his ability to drop deep, his ability to find Son. I mean, he's not just a goal scorer. He's a top footballer. He's captain of England, inspirational figure, I'd say, on and off the pitch. So I don't like to compare people. I think he's the best Harry Kane that there is.
Good answer. Good luck tomorrow, Graham.
No worries. Thank you.
Hi, Graham. Good afternoon.
Hi.
The most recent game against Liverpool, not the result you were hoping for, but despite that, what are the main positive elements you're taking from Saturday's game?
Well, I thought we started the game well. We were there. We were trying to do what we wanted to do. I think when they scored, we suffered a little bit, which I can understand, because Liverpool in the moment that they are, and we're in the moment that we are. That's something for us to learn from. I thought the response to the team going behind, the response to the team throughout the game was really good, and I think we finished it strongly. The boys, as always, never give up, keep going to the end, and it's another experience for us that, you know, positive or negative, you learn from and you get better for.
You spoke about Harry Kane and the combination with Heung-min Son. From a management point of view, how do you try and stop such a lethal combination? It seems like different managers try different types of defensive units against them, and they seem to be finding solutions, being very creative. Yeah,
well, if you look at the stats, if you look at how they've scored, if you look at what they've achieved over the years, you can see that lots of better people than me have tried and haven't succeeded. So I'm not going to say I've got the answer, and even if I had, I wouldn't be telling you, because that's obviously going to make it easier for them. I think it's like anything. It's a team solution. It's we have to play well as a team. We have to do everything good. We have to defend well. We have to attack well. We have to be aware that when you're attacking, they're very dangerous on the transition. Big spaces is a problem. Small spaces is a problem. That's what you get when you play against the very, very best.
If you look at Spurs in the last few months, they've been really inconsistent. Is that something that you're hoping at home to take advantage of tomorrow night?
Well, we've got enough to worry about ourselves in terms of our own performance. I think that's the focus for us, to perform well, to try and get the support of our fans behind us, because the team has been suffering, so we need that support. And yeah, as I said before, there's only a couple of teams that can really talk about consistency. the rest in the Premier League, it's so difficult to get. And regardless of that, whoever you play is a tough game. And we know that, but we're excited for the game as well.
Thank you.
Hi, Graham. Just how challenging is it to change momentum in the Premier League?
How do you mean, sorry?
In terms of turning things around when you've gone on a run like this,
yeah.
How challenging is that?
Well, yeah, of course, it's a challenge, but as I said before, it's the Premier League, it's the highest level. So you know that you're not that far away from a crisis, because that's how the world is, and you know that's how the external noise is. So you have to be aware of that. That's why I think the best thing to do is be quite consistent in terms of how you act and how you are, regardless. You know, it wasn't so long back that we were doing a lot of things well, and you don't pay too much attention to that. And then you also have to try to keep the negativity away as well. And then it's about trying to keep improving, analyse how you're performing, analyse what you've been doing, help the players, convince the players, help them try to be natural and believe in themselves, which is what we've been doing. And I'm pretty sure that if we keep working, we keep sticking together, we'll get some results.
You spoke there about the consistency of the message. When you look at the players, have they remained consistent in their attitude and their behaviour, despite the fact you've gone on a difficult run now?
Yeah, I mean, of course, you've got to be honest and say that when you're in a run like we have, there's going to be a difference in terms of behaviour, because people aren't quite as happy and chirpy as they normally be, and that's normal. You'd expect that. The boys are honest. The boys are responsible. They want to change the situation around. They know that it isn't easy. They know that the Premier League's a challenge, but they also know that they're capable to, achieve it. Like I said, the responsibility is mine in terms of performance, in terms of team selection, in terms of tactics and all that sort of stuff. So if we're not getting those results, it's my responsibility. It's on me. The players give everything. They do their best. And I'm pretty sure that, like I said, that continues. We'll get the results.
And finally, from me, do you feel like when you consider the positive words from Jurgen Klopp after the match on Saturday, and largely the results, you've been competitive in all the matches, maybe aside from that Burnley game, do you feel like you're on the right track still?
Well, yeah, I mean, absolutely, but I also understand that we're in the middle of at the back end of a 5-game run without a win. So I also know there's negativity, there's criticism, there's all those things you'd expect. I think that's fine. Like I said, I'd rather it come to me than the players, because the players have given everything this season, and they've fought all the time. So yeah, that's life.
Thanks, Graham.
Graham, in terms of that outside noise, how difficult is it for players, not just at the moment, but in general, to shut out that noise and the talk when you're on a run like this?
Well, I think it's part of life, Johnny. I think it's part of the brain generally tends to focus a little bit more on the negative. If I'm zooming out of football, so of course there's that. I think the negative voices are often the loudest ones. There's a lot of very positive people that support the club and understand the position that we've been in. Like I said, I can give you reasons, or I can analyse the season and give you a narrative, but I also understand that we've got 5 games and we haven't won, so I can't say too much. I have to accept the criticism, and like I said, I would rather it be, and it should be, directed to me rather than the team and the players, because clearly we haven't done well enough in terms of results and performances, and I'm responsible for that.
But in terms of a points tally, one positive stat, you're 4 and 5 points ahead of where you were at this stage in the last 2 seasons with 10 games to go. So I guess there's encouragement there, but does that mean you have to recalibrate your targets at all, or is it still that aim of surpassing that 41 points?
Well, our only target at the moment is to focus on tomorrow night and to try and get the points there. I think that's the main thing for us, to not think too much about what could happen in May. Keep it really simple and focus on the game ahead. If we act well, if we perform well, if we get a little bit of luck, I think we can get a result, but also know we're playing against a top team.
in terms of you've had experience, this is obviously a rearranged, but are Tottenham a stronger side now, do you think, than when you maybe played them? The two new rivals have been there longer. Antonio Conte's a little bit more time with them as well.
Yeah, I think they've made good additions in the window. I think Romero's got better and better with time as well. He was obviously out injured, but he played against us. But I think he's got better and better. I think, yeah, you can see Antonio's work. Recent games, especially at home, they've been really impressive, but also away. So no, they've done well.